first of all, who's your receiver of revenue? Is your receiver of revenue here? So are you designated as ROR, or by virtue of being chief officer, you assume you are the receiver of revenue?
I am designated.
You are designated. Can you then explain to us why there are variances between the revenue statements and the collection records? Because that should never apply. The revenue statement should be a reflection of collection records, and there's a variance on every revenue stream. I think because your management response is extremely brief, very, very brief.
Honorable Chair, with your permission, when you look at that table, we have the amounts that have been captured by revenue statement, and we have those that are being shown in the revenue system. And as at that time, the revenue system that was in use was called ZZ. And the variance comes about because when they make the revenue statements, they do an extraction, and sometimes it has to be from the back office. An example is the single business permit, whereby we collect revenues across departments, including licensing of schools and other business entities, and all of it is captured as single business permit. And so when we prepare our statements, we have to extract and apportion each of the revenue that has been collected to the respective departments. So,
where is that explanation in your management response? You have a one paragraph response.
Yes, okay, well, Honorable Chair, the main query here was about the 6 million that was not actually captured in the financial statements. But this came about because when we collect our revenues...
That is not the main query, because it says further. That is in addition
to the variance.
In addition to the issue raised on the table. Let's take land rates, for example. The ZZ collection record says you collected 10.9 million, but you have reported 2.5 million, resulting in a variance of 8.3 million. One can easily conclude that you collected 10 million, reported 2 million, and pocketed 8 million. So give us an explanation, using land rates as an example. Why in ZZ the records reflected 10 million, yet your revenue statements reflected 2 million? That is the question the Auditor General is asking. Or Patrick, am I asking my own questions?
Chair, that is the position. Because ordinarily you would expect that the figures in the revenue statement are coming after the client has reconciled all records and primary records that they have kept, including the records in the system, for them now to report the correct figures in the revenue statement. And failure on the side of the management to report the correct figures in the revenue statement means they will be very little reliant on the system they are using to collect revenue. Thank you, Chair.
So, receiver of revenue, maybe you listen to Senator first.
Chair, I feel that this question will be related. The ZZ platform, through you, Chair, I'm asking the CC Finance, who runs it, who manages it, how did they acquire it, and what has been its performance? Has it been successful, or because I'm asking this question because these are issues that are cross-cutting around most of the counties in our republic.
Maybe it is fair, Chair, if I was to write on what Senator Loka said, it is fair then to know how much was used to procure this particular service.
There is a substantive audit query on in the 2021-2022 report that talks about non-payment of annual maintenance fees for maintenance of revenue collection and management system. I think that can provide us a better entry into the state of that system. So that we first deal with these numbers, then we go to the systems and the processes. Senator?
Yeah, like Madam CC. CEO. Okay.
I think in this case, receipt of revenue.
Receipt of revenue. There is a matter that is taken up by the audit on cess. I thought cess is money that you collect every day. And it should not have a variance. Like what I'm seeing here, you cannot account for 77,450. Is it that you have officers who collect this money and pocket it? Or it is given to a certain officer who pockets it? How does it disappear? Because this money you are collecting from the poor women selling vegetables, tomatoes, or vehicles crisscrossing the county, transporting certain commodities. How does this money disappear? That it forms an audit query that makes our county to have a qualified report.
Maybe if you just allow me one minute, right. So I would want to also understand whether there is money that is now collected manually. Because if it is not on the ZZ platform, what we have collected, what has been the revenue statement is 4 million. What ZZ has recorded is, is there money that you collect manually?
Okay, all those are general questions relating to the specific matter of figures, because really figures don't lie. So first tell us why you have that 8.3 million difference between ZZ and revenue statement, and then address the other questions.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. First, I would like to make a clarification that the variance does not mean that money is lost per se, but I think it is an error in
I think leave the interpretation to us.
Okay.
Just do the explanation.
Okay, well, land rates is one of the examples that you said that you can use. I see there's a 2.5, but according to this it was 10. But Honorable Chair, with your indulgence, if you check on property rates, we've recorded 12 million, but according to the system, it is 2 million. I think the variance
Even if you are to put the two together, you still have a gap of 1.6 million.
Yeah, and some other gaps below. But I want to also say, Honorable Chair, that
this is a precise, this is a receipt of revenue statement is a matter of precision. It is not about you will find the figure there if it is not here. It must be precise. And if that then was the argument, then the total sum on the variance column should be 0. What is the total sum on variance? Because if you are saying that it was accounted for in another line, then the total variation should net off to 0.
the variance is the 6 million.
If you total everything on that variance column, what do you get?
It should be the 6 million.
What is it? What is it?
6 million and 58.
Yes, so that's even if it was 6 million, your argument does not answer the question. Even if you are to take land rates and put together the property rent, there's still a variance of 1.6. This is a precise exercise. This is not an art. But on receivable revenue, it is a science.
But
for every line, you must provide an explanation, because you have just about 13 revenue streams. That is a job of a receivable revenue for 365 days. Even if you are taking 1 week to explain one revenue stream, you can't tell us a story. You must give us precision in terms of explanation. Otherwise, we will reach the conclusion that money was collected and not reported. Already the Auditor General has reached that conclusion. Our job as a Senate is to listen to your mitigation so that we agree with them or we vary that position. Are you understanding where you're coming from. So give us precise answers on the variances, not speculation.
Maybe before she gives a precise answer, it is not accurate, it is not factual for her to say that the variance is 6 million. It is not 6 million. It is not 6 million. Unless you want us to take a calculator and count, it is not 6 million, it cannot add up to 6 million.
Because the 6 million is another matter flagged by the auditor.
Yes.
Senator,
Chair, through you, the other question I wanted to ask is this question I asked which Madam didn't answer. The system that you are using called ZZ, how has it been functioning? Has this system been precise, exact? Because the issues you are raising, the issues you are discussing right now, of that variance, is it being caused by the system which is not working, or is it being caused by what the chair has raised? Where is this money?
Okay, Honorable Chair.
Maybe Chair, the last one.
yes, sir.
I think the receiver of revenue is misleading this committee. Because in her explanation of the 6 million, she says that the single business permits are lumped up together, such that the event payment of schools is included as single business permit. But looking at the revenue streams, there is SBPS private schools that paid 950,000. So it is not factual to say that the 950 is in 6 million. The first explanation that you gave is not factual.
In fact, I would like the Secretariat just to work out the total on that variance column, because that then would be the conclusion we are looking at for amounts collected that have not been reported. Receive of revenue?
I actually wanted to clarify that ZZ was being used in 21, 22. We no longer use that system because it was it was not fully automated, and thus the variances starting the financial year 22-23, and that is when the appointment for receiver of revenue happened. Then now we have a different system that works like in real time, and figures you can be able to compare. So ZZ is no longer being used at the county.
Excuse me. Can you read the audit query, page 1? Maybe you're not understanding what we are trying to get at. Do you have it with you? The one says basis of qualified opinion, variance between revenue statement and records. Read there? What is the auditor saying? The statement of receipts, you can read. What is the query there?
The statement of receipts and disbursements reflects on source revenue of 169,976. However, balances noted between the amounts in the statement and those in the revenue records that was maintained. There's a variance and there's a table there.
Yeah, now, where is your response? Have you answered? You know, he's talking about figures, money that is missing. And that is the explanation we want to receive as Senate. Now go to page 20, management response. Have you explained adequately where that money is or how that money can be accounted for? You've seen management response?
Yes.
What are you saying?
According to the management response, we are saying that the total revenue that was collected in that year was 169 million. And this has also been reflected in the CRF bank statement. And so further, the preparation of financial statements and receiver of revenue for the 6 million that is being questioned was utilized, and we've annexed the financial statements to show the 6 million that was being queried.
You know, what we need is an explanation on that variance. Yeah?